Hi, it's Dot from dotstrot.com, and tonight I'm going to be making some salsa. This particular salsa, though, I'm not going to be using for chips or with vegetables. Instead, I'm going to be using this for a dish I'm making tomorrow, which is a beef barbacoa. And this particular salsa has to sit overnight in the fridge. And the reason why is one of my ingredients, which is chipotle peppers that I'm using. These have a wonderful smoky flavor to it. They also add a bit of spice to my jalapeno pepper. And of course, the other ingredients I'm using are some sea salt, red onion, plum tomatoes, which I absolutely love, and I'm using a lime. You can also use a lemon if you choose, but I'm using a lime because of the dish I'm making has a little bit more of a lime flavor to it. And of course, salsa is not complete without cilantro, which I absolutely love. So what I'm going to do right now is clear the deck and start chopping me up some fruit. Tomato is a fruit, and vegetables, and we'll get going. All right, I've got my cilantro chopped up. I have about 2 tablespoons of the red onion chopped, and most of my tomatoes are chopped. And I just wanted to show you what I'm doing with this last tomato. Get my little trash bin that I always have. I'm not using the seeds or the pulpy part of the tomato. So what I'm just doing is just using my fingers, and I am just taking it out. All of the liquid, all of the seeds. So there it goes, and I just drain the tomato in. There we go. I drained all of the seeds, or all of the liquid, excess liquid from the tomato. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and chop it up. It just makes it a lot easier to chop. Liquid isn't going everywhere, and it keeps my salsa from being too liquidy by taking out the bulk of the tomatoes. And then I'm just really coarsely chopping the tomatoes. Doesn't matter on the size. If it's, chunky, a little bigger than other parts. I just want it all chopped up and diced. That's going to go in my little bowl. The next part I'm going to dry my hands real quick, is the jalapeno. Now that's the fun part. I usually save my peppers last when I'm using a cutting board. And the reason why is, depending on this dish, it doesn't matter because everything's going in the same bowl. But sometimes I'm making things where the jalapeno is going into a different dish and I'm making a salad. Jalapeno always goes last because the oils from the pepper basically get all over the chopping board. And at that point, any dish you've got that follows, any vegetable or fruits or whatever that follows on that chopping board is going to get the oils on it and they're going to be spicy. So if you love that, great. I'm just going to go ahead and wipe off some of the excess liquid right here, and I'll put it in my little trash pail. Actually, I'm going to put it out of the trash pail. But I'm going to use gloves because, like I said, when the oils of the pepper, they stick to your hands. They get really in there, and I've made the mistake of rubbing my eye after cutting peppers without gloves. It's not pleasant. So all I'm going to do here is, for this one, I'm actually just going to cut it in half. And again, I'm not professional with the knife, so please, if some of you are, suggestions are always great. But again, here, I'm going to sort of do the same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and pull out the seeds. Now, you would leave the seeds in if you really want the heat. I'm not doing that. I'm going to leave the seeds in when I do the chipotle peppers, but just not for the jalapenos. And pretty much, I mean, you can certainly do this with a knife, but I've taken out all of the white as well. So, all right. Put that aside. I'm going to go ahead and start chopping. And I'm just using, thinly sliced slices. Then I'm going to dice it. And I'm going to do the chipotle peppers. And again, these are just soaked in their own juices. And I'm going to save the juice. I am going to add the juice to my tomatoes when I get everything into the mixing bowl. And see, you just chop them up. Again, however finely you want chopped, it's up to you. Whoops, sorry about the sound on that one. So now what I'm going to do is just start tossing everything and putting everything in with the tomatoes. Let me go ahead. All right. I've got everything, just about everything thrown in here. All the major ingredients. I haven't seasoned it with salt yet, but I'm about to. And also I haven't added the lime juice yet. But everything is all mixed in here and it smells wonderful. The peppers, you really, especially the chipotle peppers, they smell incredible. I'm going to add some sea salt, and I'm just going to do a pinch, roughly. And then stir it up. And then I'll add another pinch once I get it mixed. This makes about 2 cups, or actually 16 ounces, I should say. 2 cups roughly, or 16 ounces. And you can eat it just like this, but just, you know, once you add in the lime juice, you can definitely eat this. It's tasty. You don't even have to add the chipotle peppers or the jalapenos if you want to. I've made this too, where I've had friends who I've invited over and they're a little bit more sensitive to hot food, so I use green peppers in it instead of the jalapenos and the chipotle peppers, just because it gives it a little bit more of a sweeter taste, essentially. And if you don't want to use the red onions, you can also use scallions. They work great as well. So I'm going to add a little bit more salt. That spoon out of there. All right, and now I'm going to go ahead and use the lime. There we go. Now mix this up again. And sometimes you don't even have to use the full lime. And I'm going to take a little taste to see. But I am, like I said, you let this particular one, because you've got the chipotle peppers in here and they're smoky, you let it sit overnight. So this isn't going to be a true taste of what it tastes like. I like it, and I got a big chunk of pepper with that. Woo! I'm going to go ahead and add, add another piece of lime. Yay! Nothing like flying dead limes coming at you. But anyway, I'm going to add this extra piece, this other side of the lime, and then stir it all up. And then I'm just going to go ahead and let it soak in the fridge. And tomorrow we will have some definite yumminess and tastiness. So that is Dot's Chipotle Salsa. If you like what you see, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, share with your friends if you'd like. Go ahead and give it a try. And if you have a special way of making a salsa, please let me know. Put it in the comments too. I really would love to hear. There's so many different ways that you can make salsa, which is what's so fun about it. But go ahead and put that in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.